Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. This is a reaction to This Storm Will Literally Hit Different by Ryan Hall, and this is a channel that I've reacted to quite a lot recently involving, I guess you could say, weather. It is all just weather stuff, but yeah, that is pretty much it. But we are going to check this out and see what's going on, because I feel like the weather's going pretty crazy, especially in North America. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, we're gonna see what he's talking about, and yeah, hopefully going to enjoy. Links are in the description to my Patreon if you want to see some more of my reactions that I can't post to YouTube. But yeah, as well as that, hopefully you're all safe. Again, if there's any extreme weather where you're living now, I hope you stay safe. But yeah, let's check this out and see what he's talking about.
Over the past week, we've seen an unusual amount of tornadoes, giant hailstones, and other severe storms across the US. And unfortunately, the weather is about to get even weirder. Right now, a pattern is developing that will cause record cold temperatures and a heat wave.
Record cold temperatures and a... What? That doesn't even make sense.
At the same time. And while all of this is happening, a couple of very concerning and unexpected cyclones are brewing off the coast of Africa, and they have their sights on us. But that's over a week away. What about something close like Tuesday? Even our short-term forecast is action-packed, as we do expect to see some crazy weather down here in the south in the form of torrential rain and severe thunderstorms. The Storm Prediction Center has issued 2 separate slight risks of severe weather for Tuesday, as we expect some strong storms to form along a boundary up here in the Dakotas in the afternoon, and at the same time, strong winds and hail might be a problem down here in the southeast as well. From Shreveport, Louisiana to Raleigh, North Carolina, several rounds of showers and thunderstorms will be possible throughout the day, and these storms are going to be packed with moisture, leading to lots of torrential downpours. And this is why the Weather Prediction Center has actually issued an expansive outlook for excessive rainfall on Tuesday, highlighting the risk for flash flooding, especially up here closer to the mountains. The reason all this is happening is due to an area of low pressure that's literally gotten stuck down here, bringing in a ton of moisture out of the Gulf of Mexico and literally squeezing it all out against the Appalachian Mountains. This is known as a cutoff low. This is something we do not normally see in June. And what's even more unusual is almost the exact same thing is happening over here in the west. In fact, we have significant chances of mountain snow on Tuesday as another one of these pesky low pressure systems hovers over this region. This is going to lead to temperatures around 15 to 20 degrees below normal, and the rarity of this weather pattern doesn't even stop there. On Wednesday, on top of the continued stormy action associated with our low pressure systems, we're going to see a large heat wave start to build through the middle of the country and up into central Canada. Pretty much the entire state of Texas will be over 100 degrees on Wednesday.
Oh my god.
Even some of the more northern and remote, typically very cold parts of Canada will be way up into the 90s on Wednesday, while the forecasted high for Atlanta, Georgia is only 75. A setup.
It's going to be hotter in certain parts of Canada where I guess he said it's usually a lot colder, which is Canada, which is just colder in general. I know there's hot summers in Canada, certain parts of Canada, but then Georgia is going to be 75. What the fuck?
Like this is actually perfect for organized clusters of thunderstorms that start small and march across the plains, getting bigger and bigger as they munch up all the heat and humidity. We call these guys Mesoscale Convective systems, or MCSs for short. The slightest little disturbance in the jet stream, or even just a bit of cold air coming off the Rockies, can kickstart a thunderstorm, and then the cool outflow from that thunderstorm wedges underneath the warm air out in front of it, and that causes more thunderstorms, and the cool outflow from those storms do the same thing, and the cycle repeats over and over again like an expanding bulldozer that takes down all the storm fuel as it progresses. On top of that, these nasty little boogers are hard to forecast. The fact that any small thing can get these guys going makes it hard to pinpoint where they will start and how long they will go. Anybody and everybody should be on the lookout for fast-moving lines of severe thunderstorms on Wednesday, especially in this area. And this will continue into Thursday as well, as more storms are going to be possible in a similar corridor in the plains, while our cutoff low continues to dump a ton of rain in the southeastern US. Just look at this animation that shows how much rain we're going to see through Thursday. You can clearly see how this cutoff low is going to be dumping an incredible amount of water in this one area. This is certainly going to lead to flash flooding, especially along the southeastern side of the Appalachian Mountains between Georgia and Virginia. But all this is actually just the beginning of the very concerning and unusual bout of inclement weather we're about to get into. What's getting ready to happen this weekend into next week could end up being one of the bigger bigger weather stories we cover this entire month. So things are going to start getting really busy here at the Weather House. We're going to be sending a lot of emails and collaborating a lot. So it's vitally important that we write smarter, clearer, and with the correct tone when we are developing our forecast and live stream plans, which is actually the perfect segue into today's sponsor, Grammarly Go.
Oh, it's got his money. Grammarly. Let's go. Secure on the bag. Oh,
and let's get back into the video. So all this concern around flash flooding is going to compound as we go into the weekend, with more of the same expected as this cutoff low starts to slowly exit to the east. It will take the entire weekend for this system to clear the US, and in that time it's going to drop even more rain on already drenched areas.
Oh my God. I know New Orleans is a place that, in terms of, Louisiana, but I feel like New Orleans is where the big flood happened a few years ago. But what places in the US are prone to like flash floods and being getting flooded to levels that I can't imagine, because maybe they're lower than sea level or just whatever it is. But man, I mean, there just seems like there's a whole load of horrible things brewing. Maybe it's not gonna get as bad as it seems. Maybe it's gonna get worse, and it's being mentioned here. But if that's the case, oh my days, it's looking scary, man. I'm so thankful I don't have to deal with this. But for people who, I guess you're used to it now, you deal with this stuff yearly. When is your favorite part of the year? Because when it's winter, certain parts are horrible in terms of you're gonna get snowed in, or the snow is just really high and it just stops your ability of doing certain things. But then when it's approaching summertime, or it is summertime, storms and all this stuff, there's never seems to be a month of peace wherever it is in the US. Obviously it's such a big country, there's always going to be something happening. But when is the best month in terms of weather for safety in the US? Or is that not even can you not really answer that, because it's a year by year basis? Maybe one month it's better this month, and then the following year, that same February or whatever, is horrible. I don't know, but it's rough, man.
The good news is that by Sunday, things will start clearing up in the west as our ridge widens out. This is expected to continue, and it will likely lead to a brief period of quiet weather for pretty much everyone later this month, as the cutoff low does eventually get kicked out to sea. But I'm telling y'all right now, the timing could not be worse. You see, these troughs and cutoff lows are usually very annoying, and yeah, they bring around rain and cooler temperatures, but they actually serve as a layer of protection from whatever may be lurking in the tropics. Remember, hurricanes hate wind shear, and one of the things that often goes away whenever you have really nice weather is wind shear. So if we do get a nice big high pressure ridge forming over the country later this month, the doors are going to be wide open for any tropical system that may want to make its way into the US. But it's only June. We don't have anything to worry about yet. We should only be concerned about this in July, August, and September, right? Wrong. You see, right now, another very weird and unusual weather event is unfolding in the Atlantic Ocean. The Atlantic Ocean is roasting. These extremely anomalous sea surface temperatures in the Atlantic are fueling tropical systems all the way out by Africa. Once again, this is not normal for June. But since the waters are so off the charts warm, every single wave that comes off of Africa right now has the very unusual and early ability to become a hurricane as it approaches the main development region. In fact, this is happening right now. We currently have 2 waves being watched by the National Hurricane Center, and it's very likely that one of these will become Tropical Storm or Hurricane Brett. Here's an up-close look at the leading wave. This is the one that's most likely to take the Brett name, and right now most of the model data continues to intensify this storm and push it towards Puerto Rico. From there, we are really not sure exactly what's going to happen with it. If it continues to the west and it makes it into the Caribbean, there's a chance that it gets even stronger as the sea surface temperatures are even warmer over there, and this would actually put it dangerously close to the Gulf of Mexico, where once again it could get stronger as it heads towards the mainland US. However, some of the models are showing this storm drift into the north as it approaches the Lesser Antilles. This would push it up into the north central Atlantic Ocean, which would be a best case scenario because it would just kind of fizzle out up there before it actually got to any major landmass. But it's far too early to hyperanalyze any of this right now. The key takeaway here is that what we are learning is concerning. These tropical cyclones should not even exist this time of year, let alone be thriving and potentially threatening the U.S. Of course, this does not mean that we're going to be on the verge of a hyperactive hurricane season. Things could definitely change as we go forward, but this is very concerning as it may be a sign that we do end up with stronger and more frequent hurricanes this year compared to our initial forecast. If you live anywhere along the coast, I would be getting my hurricane preparedness plans in place right now. If you haven't already, it's probably a good idea to subscribe to this channel with notifications on so you get all the latest updates, including
Flipping hell, man. Oh, these poor people. I'm part of the first response storm damage assessment team, and your videos have helped me stay ahead of the curve so many times. I've been watching weather reports for 70 years. This is by far the best weather reporting I've ever seen, both professionally done, educational and entertaining. I'm praying for everyone. I mean, it's not necessarily hurricane season, etc., but if it's starting early now, then it could be a sign of horrible things to come. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Obviously, this was 11 hours ago, so this is pretty fresh news. I'm going to try and get this posted probably first before any of my other reactions today, because it's probably a lot more relevant. But yeah, that's that. And yeah, until next time, I subscribe. Peace.